Yes. Good morning. This is the update for Tuesday, the 28th of September, and there was 19 dividend payments. Not bad at all. It was a total of 70 cent. So I have enough. I think I've just over €1, so I can put that into whatever company has dipped quite a lot. I found this one earlier. I've only got €1 in it, and it's 11% down, so I'm going to put my €1 in here. Logitech International. Ticker symbol is LOGN. It's 83 francs per share at the moment, based in Switzerland. That's all the details it gives at the moment. I know it's a tech company. I think it's a computer peripherals, it might be. But I'll have a look now. Just put the euro in here. Yeah, it was nice. 19 payments. So there was 16 ordinary dividends, 1 return of capital, 2 bonus dividends, and 6 of the payments were the first ones I've received from that stock. So I don't know any previous information on them at the moment. The first dividend payer was Alliance Data Systems. Ticker symbol is ADS. It's about $102, closer to $103 per share at the moment. And it's in the consumer financial services industry. It's a provider of data-driven marketing, loyalty and payment solutions serving consumer-based businesses in a range of industries. So it offers a portfolio of integrated outsourced marketing solutions, which includes customer loyalty programs, database marketing services, end-to-end marketing services, analytics and creative services, direct marketing services, and private label and co-brand retail credit card programs. That's all quite confusing, but that's just the general gist. Based in the USA, has a dividend yield of 0.92%, and it pays a quarterly dividend. This was an ordinary payment of 17.5 cents per share, and the previous one was 18 cents. So I don't really know if it's dropped. That could just be the difference in withholding tax. So its quarterly profit margin is 27%, and annually is about 5%. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 90%, and over the last year is about 93%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 1.88 billion, from investing is 1.77 billion, and from financing is negative $4.17 billion. The second payer was Waste Management Incorporated. Ticker symbol is WM. It's about $150 per share at the moment. So it provides waste management environmental services in North America and the US and Canada. So it's in the waste management services industry. I think it's my only stock in this industry at the moment. Has a dividend yield of 1.49%. It pays a quarterly dividend. This was for 48 cents per share, and it's the same as the last one that I got. Sorry, bit of fundamentals. Quarterly profit margin is about 8%, and over the last year is about 10%. Quarterly debt to assets is about 75%, and annually is about the same. And its annual cash flow from operating is 3.4 billion, from investing is negative 4.85 billion, and from financing is negative 1.56 billion. Next payer was SSE. Ticker symbol is also SSE. It's about £15, 96 pence per share, based in the UK, and it's in the electric utilities industry. It's engaged in generation, transmission and distribution and supply of electricity, in the production, storage, distribution and supply of gas, and in other energy services. Current dividend yield is 5%. Pays a dividend twice a year. And this one was for 56.6 pence per share, and that's the first one I've received from this company. Quarterly profit margin's about 25%, and over the last year is about 33%. Quarterly debt to assets is about 75%, and annually is about 70%, 69%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 1.82 billion. From investing is 443.7 million. And from financing is negative 825 million. Next is BP. Ticker symbol is also BP. It's about £3.36 per share. And it's in the oil and gas operations industry. It's a global energy business with operations in Europe, North and South America, Australasia, Asia and Africa. There's 13 refineries in Russia, holds stakes in 3 refineries in Germany, 1 in India and 1 in Belarus. Has a dividend yield of 5.32%, but it does have a negative earnings per share at the moment. Pays a dividend every quarter, and this one was for 3.95 pence, which is up from the previous. The last one I received was 3.7 pence, so this has gone up 0.25 pence since the last one per share. Quarterly profit margin about 8.5%. Annually is negative 12.5%. Quarterly debt to assets is about 72%, and over the last year is about 73%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 12.16 billion. From investing is negative 7.86 billion, and from financing is 3.96 billion pounds. Next was a Blackrock World Mining Trust. Ticker symbol is BRWM. It's about £5.19 per share. It's in the miscellaneous financial services industry, but it's a UK-based investment trust, and its principal activity is portfolio investment, and its subsidiary, Blackrock World Mining Investment Company, together with the group, is engaged in investment dealing. Its current dividend yield is 3.95%, pays a dividend every quarter, and this was an ordinary dividend of 5.5 pence per share, but it's the first one I've received from them. Quarterly profit margin is about 95%, very nice. Over the last year is the same. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 12%, and annually is the same. And its annual cash flow from operating is 13.88 million, and from financing is negative 30.44 million. Next one is World Wrestling Entertainment. Ticker symbol is WWE. I'm just thinking now, this probably should go in with motion pictures is the industry. Home entertainment. Sorry, I was just thinking this should probably have gone in with my recreational stocks. Anyway, currently trading for $55 per share. Ticker symbol is WWE. Based in the US. And it's an integrated media and entertainment company. And its segments include network, television, home entertainment, digital media, live events, licensing, venue merchandise, WWE Shop, WWE Studios, and corporate and other. I didn't actually realise that. I knew it had been around for decades, so I assumed they were doing quite well, but I didn't realise that they were involved in this much. It's a lot. Nice. Anyway, dividend yield is a pretty low 0.93%. Pays a dividend every quarter, and this was for 10 cents per share, and it's the first one I've received from them. Quarterly profit margin is about 11%, and over the last year is about 13.5%. Quarterly debt to assets is 69%, and annually is about 70%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 319.87 million. From investing is 11.88 million, and from financing is 39.91 million. Next is Bank of America Corporation. Ticker symbol is BAC. $43 per share at the moment, based in the US, and it's in the regional banks industry. Company it's a financial institution serving individual customers, small and middle market businesses, institutional investors, corporations, and governments with a range of banking, investing, asset management, and other financial and risk management products and services. Current dividend yield is about 2%, pays a dividend every quarter, and this was an ordinary dividend of 17 cents per share, but the previous one was 15 cents per share, so it's gone up a little bit. Now its quarterly net income is 9.22 billion, and over the last year is 17.89 billion, but that's the only details it gives at the moment. Quarterly debt to assets is about 91%, and annually is about the same. And its annual cash flow from operating is 37.99 billion. From investing is negative 177,000, and from financing is 355 billion. Next is Dick's Sporting Goods. Ticker symbol is DKS. It's about $128 per share, and it's in the specialty retail industry. It's an omni-channel sporting goods retailer based in the US. So its dividend yield is 1.32% and pays a quarterly dividend, and this was a bonus dividend of $4.67 per share. But I haven't received an ordinary dividend from them yet, so I don't know how much they usually pay. There's 730 locations across the US. Very good. Anyway, quarterly profit margin is about 10%, and annually is about 5.5%. Its quarterly debt to assets is 73%, and annually is about 70%. And its annual cash flow from operating is about 1.5 billion. From investing is negative 224 million, and from financing is $260 million. Next is Ellington Financial. Ticker symbol is EFC. It's about $18.50 per share at the moment. It's in the consumer financial services industry, and it's a specialty finance company that acquires and manages mortgage-related and other financial assets. So based in the US, has a dividend yield of 9.63%, and it pays a monthly dividend. This was an ordinary dividend of 12 cents per share, and the previous one was 15 cents per share, so it's gone down a little bit. So its quarterly profit margin is about 35%, and annually is negative 7.5%. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 78%, and annually is about 74%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 119.5 million. From investing is 507 million, and from financing is negative 587.5 million. The next pair was Kraft Heinz. Ticker symbol is KHC. It's about $36.50 per share. It's in the food processing industry. It's also based in the US. It's a global food and beverage company, and and its segments include the USA, International and Canada. And its brands includes Kraft, Oscar Mayer, Heinz, Philadelphia, Lunchables, Velveeta, Maxwell House, Kool-Aid, Ore-Ida, is it? I never heard of that. Jello, Master, Quiero, Golden Circle and Waddies. Grocery accounts, convenience stores, drugstores, value stores, bakeries. Nice. Dividend yield's about 4.5%. Pays every quarter. And this was an ordinary dividend of 34 cents per share, which is the same as the previous. So its quarterly profit margin is negative about 0.5%. And annually is about 1%. Not great. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 48%. And annually is about 50%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 4.93 billion. From investing is negative 522 million, and from financing is negative 3.33 billion. Next is Royal Dutch Shell, and it's RDSB. So it's about £16.31 per share. A nice up 20%. So it's based in the Netherlands, but this is the, I think, London Stock Exchange, yeah. And when I was first buying into Royal Dutch Shell, I looked up the difference between RDSA and RDSB, and RDSA is for everyone in the Netherlands. RDSB is for everybody else. I think it's for tax reasons. Anyway, it's in the oil and gas operations industry. Has a dividend yield of 3.6%. Pays a dividend every quarter. And this was an ordinary dividend of 17.38 pence per share, which is up quite a lot from the last one. The last one I got was 12.126 pence per share. So it's good. It's gone up like 30%. Very nice. So its quarterly profit margin is about 5.5%. And annually is negative 12%. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 57%, and annually is about 59%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 34 billion, from investing is negative 13.28 billion, and from financing is negative 7.22 billion. Next is Lockheed Martin Corporation. Ticker symbol is LMT. It's about $352 per share, based in the US, and it's in the aerospace and defense industry. It's a security and aerospace company operating through 4 segments, which are aeronautics, that's engaged in research, design, development, manufacture, support and upgrade of military aircraft, including combat and air mobility aircraft, unmanned air vehicles and related technologies. Also has a missiles and fire control segment, a rotary and mission system segment, and a space segment. This is quite a popular one. Like, the dividend is not great, but very popular. 114,000 employees. Anyway, dividend yield is about 2.9%, and it pays every quarter. This was for an ordinary payment of $2.21 per share, which is the same as the last one that they sent me. Quarterly profit margin is about 10.5%, and annually is about the same. Quarterly debt to assets is about 87%, and annually is about 88%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 8.18 billion, from investing is negative 2 billion, and from financing is negative 4.5 billion. Next is Auburn National Bank. Ticker symbol is AUBN. It's about $34 per share at the moment. And I actually have a full share. I must have bought this before it was you were allowed to purchase fractional shares with this stock. So if anyone else uses trading 212, go into your settings and put on the fractional shares indicator, this little blue F, which means you can buy tiny little pieces instead of having to buy a full one, which is what must have happened to me. So it's in the regional banks industry, based in the US, has a dividend yield of about 3%, pays a dividend every quarter, and this was an ordinary dividend of 21 cents per share, which is the same as the previous. Its quarterly net income is 2.29 million, and annually is 7.45 million, but that's all it gives. Its quarterly debt to assets is about 90%, and annually is about 89%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 9.73 million. From investing is negative 102 million, closer to 103. And from financing is 113.33 million. Next is Suncor Energy. Ticker symbol is SU. It's about $21 per share at the moment. It's based in Canada, but I think this is a US stock. Canada-based integrated energy company, so it's in the oil and gas operations industry. It has a dividend yield of 3.58%, but it does have a negative earnings per share at the moment. So it pays a quarterly dividend, but this was a return of capital of 14 cents per share. And it's the first payment I've received from them ever, so I don't know how much they pay with an ordinary dividend. Quarterly profit margin is about 9.5%, and annually is negative 17.5%. Quarterly debt to assets is about 57%, and annually is about 58%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 2.68 billion. From investing is negative 4.5 billion, and from financing is 1.79 billion. Now we're getting close to the end. Next one, Domino's Pizza Group. Ticker symbol is DOM. It's about £3.98 per share, based in the UK. And it's a pizza delivery company. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. Dividend yield of 2.94%. Pays a dividend twice a year. And this was an ordinary dividend of 3 pence per share, but it's the first one I've received from them. Its quarterly profit margin is about 15%, and annually is about 8%. Its quarterly debt to assets is 109%, and annually is about 101%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 112 million. From investing is negative 17.8 million, and from financing is negative 38.6 million. Now, third from the end, Texas Roadhouse. Ticker symbol is TXRH. It's about $93 per share at the moment. And it's in the restaurants industry, based in the USA. And it operates in the casual dining segment. And it offers an assortment of seasoned and aged steaks, all cooked over open grills, and all but one hand-cut daily on the premises. Dividend yield is 1.8%, pays a dividend every quarter, and this was an ordinary dividend of 34 cents per share, and it's the first one I've received from Texas Roadhouse. Its quarterly profit margin is about 8.5%, and annually is about 1.3%. Its quarterly debt to assets is 57%, and annually is about 60%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 230 million. From investing is negative 161 million, and from financing is $185.94 million. Second last is SGRO. Ticker symbol is SGRO. So it's about £11.98 per share, and it's in the transportation sector. It's a real estate investment trust, and it owns, develops and manages warehouse properties in the UK and continental Europe. Its segments include Greater London, the Thames Valley, National Logistics, Northern Europe, which is principally Germany, Southern Europe, which is principally France, and Central Europe, which is principally Poland. Dividend yield of 1.76%. Pays a dividend twice a year. And this was an ordinary dividend of 7.4 pence per share. And the last two I received was for 6 pence per share, and then the final was for 12.6 pence per share. So this seems to have increased from 6 pence per share, which is pretty good. So its quarterly profit margin is 535%. Ooh, very nice. And annually is 330%. Very nice. Dividend per share remained flat at 7 pence per share. Oh, that's for the previous financial summary for 2021 by the looks of it. So its quarterly debt to assets is 22.5%, and annually is about 24%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 199 million. From investing is negative 1.11 billion, and from financing is 862.5 million. And the last one is Rio Tinto, which actually paid me twice. It paid an ordinary dividend and a bonus dividend. So, ticker symbol is RIO. It's about £47.82 per share, based in the UK, and it's in the metal mining industry. So its business is finding, mining and processing mineral resources, which includes iron ore, aluminium, copper and diamonds, energy and minerals, and other operations. Current dividend yield of 6.28%. Pays a dividend twice a year. And this one was an ordinary dividend of £2.40 per share. So the last two payments I received from Rio Tinto were for £1.50 and then £4 per share. So this could be either. It could be increased from £1.50 or it could be decreased from £4, but it seems like it's increased from £1.50. Because if they were struggling, I don't think they'd be paying out an ordinary dividend and a bonus dividend. You know, it seems, if anything, they're doing quite well. So the bonus dividend was for £1.33 per share, and the ordinary dividend was for £2.40 per share. So its quarterly profit margin is 17%, and annually is about 18.5%. Quarterly debt to assets is 53%, and annually is about the same, closer to 54%. And its annual cash flow from operating is 14.91 billion. From investing is negative 5.5 billion, and from financing is negative 12.22 billion. So that's it for all the dividend payers today, 19. And well done if you made it to the end. It was a struggle to record the amount of them, because my video editing skills are very poor. So I tend to just record it all in one go. But I'll figure it out as I go. I've only been doing this for a couple of months now. Anyway, I hope that you found this useful today. And let me know if you own any of these stocks yourself, or if you're thinking about buying them. I was mainly ordinary dividends today. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. And if you made it to the end, well done again. and I'll see you again tomorrow.